Hey, what's good, y'all? What's good? All right. I'm setting this bad boy up here. All right. Hey, yo, real quick, for you guys that's tuning in right now, I want to try to give about 5 minutes here. Give people an opportunity to, I got to switch out templates too, man. I got to switch out templates. Let me switch out templates real quick. Let's do this. Yeah, for those of you that's tuning in right now, we're going to wait about 5 minutes. Give everybody an opportunity to stretch out a little bit if they got to use the bathroom and all that. Because the pay-per-view literally just went off. So we're going to give everybody a chance to kind of stretch out a little bit. All right, let's see what we got here. I think that's the, man, let me look here. Nope, that ain't it. We don't want that one. Let's close that. Yep. And we having fun tonight. We mixing it up tonight. All right, give me a second, guys. Who's putting in the right wallpaper here? All right, let's see. Where we at here? Let's see. You know, guys, I don't think... Hang on. Let's see. Artwork. I think I saved it wrong. Let me see here. Oh, okay. It's under that one. Okay, let me try that again. It's under that one. There we go. All right, now we're good. Now we're good. Now we're good. Yes, that's the one we want. Boom. There we go. Okay, so we got the 53-minute mark right now. I say we'll go ahead and we'll start the show at about the, let's do like the 55-minute, 56-minute mark. We'll go ahead and start the show. That's more than, I think, right? That's more than enough time to give people an opportunity to stretch out, use the bathroom real quick and all that, and then we'll go ahead, we'll start the show, because the pay-per-view literally just went off, so. Oh, what did you guys think, though, man? Fucking solid, yeah? Fucking solid. Tonight was fucking lit. Tonight was fucking lit. I loved it. I loved it. This was, honestly, since AEW has been doing pay-per-views, straight up honest, I thought this was one of their most strongest pay-per-views to date. No bullshit. Their most strongest. You know, it's interesting because when you look at everything that had went down with the titles, you know, on the one hand, you had a couple of title changes, but then on the other hand, you could make an argument that, okay, well, not really too much went down here on the pay-per-view, but we do have a little bit of a nice little reset here. So I don't know if you guys kind of picked up that same vibe that I got, but man, loads to talk about. Loads to definitely talk about here. All right, so we got the 54-minute mark right now. I'm going to wait another 75 seconds. And then we'll pretty much go ahead and start the show. If you guys got Twitter, I am asking you guys, what did you think about the pay-per-view? So you can definitely go cast your vote. Twitter at the RCWR show. I'm going to create a poll on YouTube real quick here. It's going to be under the communities tab for those of you that are interested. All right, let's see here. I'm going to change that real quick. Boom, that's good. And then we're going to tag this real quick. I'm going to tag this real quick. Okay. Oh, bear with me. Okay. Okay. I'm about to be rocking and rolling here. There we go. Bryan AEW All Out. Bryan Danielson. We're almost ready to go, guys. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's save that. All right, I got the 56-minute mark now, so we definitely gonna go ahead and start, y'all. All right. Oh, wait. Let me create that poll for you guys. My bad. For those of you that's watching on YouTube, let me create that poll real quick. I mean, that's real fucking easy. It's going to take like a quick 30 seconds for me to make that poll for you guys, because I do want to know what you guys had thought about the pay-per-view. So, besides sounding off in the chat, what did you think about tonight's AEW All Out pay-per-view? Sound off. All right. And we're going to keep it simple. Thumbs up, thumbs down. That's simple. All right, so for those of you that don't have Twitter, if you go on the community section of this YouTube channel, youtube.com/the RCWR show, you'll see the polling options there. So, yeah. All right, we ready, go. We ready. Let's go. Let's go. Countdown 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. What is going on, my pretty babies? Lee Sanders here of the RCWR show, covering all things wrestling, entertainment, and beyond since 2011. And we are here. We are talking about AEW's 2021 edition of their All Out pay-per-view event. Went off the air about 5+ minutes ago. Hey, love it when we got a pay-per-view that ends before midnight. A little bit long-winded. I know some people were a little bit exhausted tonight. Some people were a little bit tired, but in AEW's defense, they were going into a major holiday. Most people got Labor Day off. Kids aren't in school and all that. So if you're going to do a lengthy pay-per-view, tonight was the night to do it of all the nights. So, hey, and look, when it's all said and done, especially if you stuck around, you got rewarded. When I think about monumental moments that a wrestling promotion delivers, not just for a pay-per-view, but also from the standpoint of just creating memories, getting a social media buzz, creating a frenzy, getting people talking, giving people something to talk about. AEW, look, I call it how I see it. I give constructive criticism and praise where it needs to be given. I give constructive feedback and all of that, ways of improvement when it needs to be given. The foundation that AEW laid out tonight with this pay-per-view alone, they really did a nice reset, so to speak, setting up several weeks going into the next few months of AEW programming. I definitely got to take my hats off to them. Everything from a production value standpoint, as far as the performers, just everything tonight, overall, everything, as far as how they laid it out. Tip my hat off to them. This bud, well, it ain't a bud, but this toast is to you, right? We can do it like that. This toast is to you. They did phenomenal tonight. Where do we even begin? Look, we don't need to go down the da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. We're not going to do the whole move for move and then this person did that. We're not going to do, right? This ain't ESPN. I'm going to give you guys generalized thoughts, but I'll also sound off about the matches that went down tonight. But let's just at random, okay? Because this show, how I like to do this and all the shows, it's really unscripted. I got the bullet points, but it's really unscripted. And yes, we will be sharing you all's reactions to the pay-per-view. I see there's already a decent amount of you guys commenting, so we all are going to be, right? Just as you're taking the time out to sound off, I'm making sure I'm showing you the love on what you guys had thought about the pay-per-view and all that as well. But, and I'll read your comments in a hot second. Look, where do you even want to begin? Do you want to begin with the fact that we now got Adam Cole in AEW? I mean, do you maybe want to start right there? I mean, let's go ahead and start right there. Seriously, was it Christmas tonight? Was this Christmas? Because we just imagine for a second, you know, usually when it comes to Christmas, you just wake up and every single thing that you ever wanted all year long, what you've been craving, what you've been yearning for, what you've been desiring most, Christmas comes and every single thing you can possibly think of, you get it on that day. If not that day, you get it on your god-daggone birthday, right? And that's what All Out felt like tonight. That is exactly what All Out felt like. All Out felt like Christmas for a lot of us. I don't know if you guys had picked up that same vibe, but it had a little bit of something for everybody. Now, let's talk about that price tag for some folks, especially in this day and age, especially since we're still dealing with the pandemic and everything, okay? A $49.99 price tag for this pay-per-view, okay? Some people, I don't blame you guys if you went on ahead and said, man, that's a little too steep. Not to mention the last couple of AEW pay-per-views I wasn't really feeling. So you know what? I'm going to go on ahead and I'm going to sit this one out. If CM Punk was not the selling point for you guys in regards to this pay-per-view, I totally respect that. I'm not bashing you, nor should you be bashed. It's okay if you had that right mindset. But in retrospect, and I did cough up the 50 to check out this pay-per-view, full disclosure. I know there were a lot of people that were checking out the illegal streams, and man, were they being reported left and right like a mofo. I mean, this was the night. If you did not pay the $50 to check out the pay-per-view, this was not your night to be on the illegal streams trying to get your hookup, because, man, them streams was being pulled within seconds, and mofos were just trying to regenerate stream after stream after stream after stream after stream. I have a decent amount of friends, in the podcasting world, but also, listeners of the show and all that. And I was just watching all the feedback that was going on, and servers were just getting bombarded with the freaking takedowns left and right. It was ridiculous. It was really ridiculous. But yeah, this felt like, if you felt the way you felt with the previous AEW pay-per-views and you went into this, CM Punk really not the selling point. Nah, my pretty babies, everything that was crammed into this pay-per-view, just with the surprises alone, worth the $50, worth going out of your way. To Israel's point via Facebook, he's saying it to you guys perfectly. Best sentiments exactly. Best pay-per-view of 2021, well worth the $50. Now, look, we still got a couple of more months to go to round out this year. But so far, when you're just looking at all the pay-per-views that's come from everybody, and you want to include Impact and MLW, NWA, and all of that, it's really hard so far. You look at everything that AEW did tonight, it's really hard to kind of, challenge that argument. It's really kind of hard right now. So let's start with Adam Cole. We heard the rumblings about Adam Cole there, right? We heard the rumblings about that. And here's the problem. I talked about this a long time ago when it came to particularly WWE talents and what's going on with their third-party deals. We dedicated a good chunk of our show a couple of months back talking about all of that stuff. This was when Zelina Vega was still with the WWE, the first rodeo, before she got released, before she got dismissed and all that, because she was starting to go talk to SAG and all them other people, remember? Okay, so now let's fast forward a little bit. So many people were under the impression that Adam Cole was mainly going to be leaving WWE because they assumed that WWE was going to do everything in their power to make sure that, hey, if you're going to re-sign with us, you can't do your Twitch. You can't have no third-party deals going on, not unless it's WWE officially partnered up. It's some type of a deal that we already got with these people, and, we can pretty much broker you a nice little cut that way and all of that. A lot of people were under that assumption, but so many people missed the bigger picture. And I was really taken back. I remained silent the entire time, hoping that maybe somebody online would touch on these points, but I did not see anybody touch on these points when it came to Adam Cole, which is, wait a minute, man. Let's address the real elephant in the room when it comes to Adam Cole. Adam Cole and his significant other and Britt Baker, sure, when the pandemic had first began, that's great that you've got AEW, you got WWE, you got Impact. Everybody's pretty much doing their thing based out in Florida. So it's real easy to, okay, I'm going to be staying down here for a couple of months or for the foreseeable future. Might as well go on ahead, get a nice little residence out here. Oh, wow, look at that. You guys, sorry about that. It's like get a nice little residence out here and all of that, right? So you see what a lot of folks were doing. But sooner or later, you knew that things were going to start picking back up in a way where, all right, we're going to get the vaccinations, number one. And then number two, once we understand what's going on with this virus and how we can better protect ourselves, things of that nature, we're definitely most likely going to be seeing cities start to loosen up, the restrictions, yada, 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 yada. A big old domino effect. Now, again, keeping it focused there on Adam Cole and crew, you're just going, okay, eventually promotions like AEW, promotions like WWE, they're going to go back out there on the road. They're going to be going out there on the road in some capacity. Even if it's limited cities, they're going to be going back out there on the road touring again. And see, that is so detrimental to a couple. Whether you are a long-term couple, you are a married couple, heaven forbid, you got kids in the picture. When you're doing something like that and you're essentially kind of, I won't say ripping families apart because that's too strong of a word, but you feel where I'm coming from. It definitely puts a strain on that respected relationship. And then the question becomes, okay, do you really want to continue to go through this? Do you even want to entertain this? Or, okay, you've pretty much honored all your dates, you've honored all your commitments, and all right, your contract's coming up for renewal. I will hear what's going on with these people, hear what kind of type of a deal that they got for you, what they're willing to do and all of that. Listen, and then pretty much go from there. I don't know about you guys, and I'm sure a lot of what I'm saying right now, I would not be surprised if in a future interview, be it on Jericho's podcast or whoever, I wouldn't be surprised if Adam Cole had touched upon some of these points that I'm bringing up, which ultimately led to him going to AEW. Keep this in mind, and remember, you're kind of hearing it here first if you've never heard any podcaster really go this route with Adam Cole. I do not believe, 2 cents from a distance, this is my gut instincts, and usually my gut instincts are pretty fucking scary spot on. I don't believe that it was 100% all about the Twitch and the third-party contractual shit with WWE. I don't believe that was the primary reason why Adam Cole rolled out from WWE. I know that's the narrative that's being spun right now on a lot of dirt sheets. That's the number one topic for, podcasters. That's just pretty much reading what the dirt sheets are saying, and they're not adding their own 2 cents to it, but just marinate on that, okay? So Adam Cole in AEW makes total sense. It really does. It makes total fucking sense. He's got friends over there, the fucking connections. And then plus, really stop and think about this. What's the one thing for you longtime listeners that's been checking out the show? What's the one thing that I've been saying about Adam Cole within recent weeks, ever since the buzz had came about that his contract was expiring and essentially WWE kind of dropped the ball here and they were trying to make him priority number one and all that? What's the number one thing that I had said to you guys? For those of you that don't remember, one of the main points I made in regards to Adam Cole was, look, until we really know what's going on here, we can't really assume. We got to just see how the cards play itself out and everything. But I told you guys what my biggest travesty of Adam Cole continuing to be in WWE, what more was he supposed to do for the NXT brand? With Nick Khan doing his thing now, the days of, and you're seeing it with your own two eyes, but the days of, okay, I just want to stay in this brand over here. I don't want to do no 205. I don't want to do a dark match over on Raw. I don't want to do, no. The way Nick Khan and crew have essentially been doing what they've been doing as of late, they pretty much been, okay, you're on our payroll here. We're going to plug and play. Okay, we ain't really got nothing going on over here right now that's opening up where we could plug you in over here. So we're going to plug and play you over here. Okay, and then we're going to try to see if we can, they are trying to basically get their money's worth. And my biggest concern for Adam Cole continuing to be in the WWE is, okay, that's great what he's been doing in NXT. But one, what more is he supposed to do in NXT? And then number two, okay, if you're going to put Adam Cole on SmackDown or on Raw, can he really thrive? Can he continue to build off what he did in NXT? And that was my main concern, because when you look at the current landscape of SmackDown and Raw right now, it's pretty much the land of the big giants right now. It's about the big guys. That's who's being pushed right now. It's all about the big guys. Just look at it. Look at the current landscape right now. You know, we don't need to go full WWE, but just really think about it. We got the Lashleys. We got Aziz. We've got Omos. We've got Goldberg. We've got Lesnar, right? Look at all of those big guys. We got Damian Priest. We got Keith Lee, you know, still kind of, but we got him that's running around there. Odyssey Jones, nice little hot commodity in the making right there. So you guys get the point that I'm making right here. So if you're an Adam Cole fan, a truly unbiased Adam Cole fan, just really looking at the entire landscape, it's easy for you to go, yeah, you know what? I don't know, man. Yeah, what more is he supposed to do in NXT? Yeah, I don't know about Adam Cole. So to see him in AEW, perfect fit, perfect fucking fit. You could not coordinate that any better from our proper introduction to seeing Adam Cole tonight. That was just badass. But then to get the extra icing on the cake and to see Bryan Danielson pop up as well. That's why I said what I said earlier. Holy shit, it's fucking Christmas. It's like it's Christmas. Christmas came early for us wrestling fans. Look, if you are the USA Network, if you are the Fox executives, if you are, you know, NBC Universal, basically, you're looking at the CM Punks. You're looking at the Adam Coles. You're looking at the Daniel Bryans. You are just honestly shaking your head right now, and you're just going, WTF, man. What the fuck is going on here? Remember the basketball analogy I've been using for the past couple of months now? I'll say it one more time for you guys, especially if you guys are fans of basketball, then you'll get this analogy perfectly. This, what I've been saying the whole time, I said, if AEW were to bag Daniel Bryan and CM Punk, look at AEW as the Brooklyn Nets. CM Punk and Daniel Bryan are Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. Who you want to dub, that's up to you all to make, okay? Who you want to give, let's put Punk with, right? If you want to, that's up to you guys to mix and match there, right? But you get the analogy that I'm making here, and I mean, what Tony Khan and crew have been able to do. Just, you know, you got these great centerpieces, man, and it's like you got a nice, tight little dynasty that's going on here. You got eyeballs on your product now. You got the wrestling community now going, well, wait a minute here. They got our favorites. What's going on over here? It's crazy. It's almost feeling like, I remember the time period where right before CM Punk left WWE. Remember that time? That was a great time to be a wrestling fan. It almost feels like we've been, as wrestling fans, in this deep slumber for these past 7 years. Like we've been in this deep hibernation. And even though all these other wrestling promotions are doing what they're doing, when you're looking at AEW, it literally almost feels like, okay, WWE's timeline, you know, it got to this particular point, and we really can't remember anything else that happened past that point. But then you're looking at AEW, and AEW has essentially picked up from that respected timeline that we last remember, right? And they're just trucking along, creating their own little new milestone memories in the process. When you stop and think about it, it really does kind of have that type of approach to it. You heard the rumblings that Bryan Danielson's AEW debut had got moved up. You kept hearing that, but you're just going, well, man, we just got CM Punk. That doesn't really make any sense. If we're going to go with CM Punk, why don't we, you know, hold off on Daniel Bryan? Like, we're good until maybe the end of the year. Or, nah, you know what? We're actually good until, you know, first quarter of 2021. We're But for them to freaking pull the trigger on Daniel Bryan right now, I mean, wow. Wow, it is all I have to say. That is just, it's amazing. It's amazing. I mean, look, we knew as fans that it was just a matter of time before Bryan showed up in AEW. But for them to move it up, I mean, just really stop and think about it a second. It was the second episode of AEW Rampage where we had got CM Punk. So what was that like? What was that, August 21st, if I remember it right? It was like August 21st or something like that. So we're not even a month in with CM Punk being part of AEW, and already, to quote one of my favorite Reba songs, Bonnie Raitt songs, let's give them something to talk about. We got even more stuff to talk about. A lot of fucking surprises that we got here tonight. And that's how you do it. All, not to mention, and I want to make sure that we stress this. What a great match that Christian and Kenny Omega have for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. We got to make sure that we do not overlook that match, because that match delivered. That was above and beyond. We knew that match was going to be very good. We remember what we had saw from their match for the Impact World Championship. And honestly, that was just an appetizer. That was honestly just a taste of things to come. We knew that they were going to be amping it up big time, taking it up to that next level at All Out. And they did. It did live up to the expectations. So I want to make sure we don't lose sight of that, because it's easy to lose sight of that match and just be so focused on the moments that had went down post-match there. But they did have a phenomenal matchup, and this was the official first singles defeat that Christian suffered since he's been in AEW so far at the hands of Kenny Omega. Look, you could have made an argument that this honestly could have gone either way, but for me personally, I just felt that, and I love Christian. I've always been a big fan of Christian's work, but I just personally felt that, you know what? Look at what's going on with the Impact numbers right now. They're struggling as it is, just to, on a regular basis, maintain 100,000 viewers and up, as far as continuing to be and plus gaining each week. You looked at, now look, not for nothing, I'll mention a little bit of good news in regards to Impact, and you're following what Christian has been doing and everything. This past Thursday's Impact numbers had came out, and they had scored about 126,000 viewers. Okay, not bad compared to the previous week where they did 98,000. They did 98,000, so they couldn't even crack 100K last week. They weren't even in the top 150, right? So you're looking at these numbers that's been coming in so far since Christian has been the champion, and the needle really hasn't been moving like that. And I had stressed on the shows within recent weeks, those were some of my concerns about, I don't know. I don't know if you should really be pulling the trigger and making Christian he's doing some really damn good solid work right now, but I don't think it's enough to make him the AEW champion, continue to ride things out with Kenny Omega. I'm still holding out hope there for my man Hangman Adam Page, but man, after what we got tonight, seeing that whole throwdown there, we're post-match. We've got Gallows and Anderson. We got the Bucks, and they're pretty much beating the crap out of Christian. Jurassic Express coming out there. They're trying to loan the assist. They're kind of getting their asses handed to them just a tiny little bit. But then we see Adam Cole come out. Which way is Adam Cole gonna go right here? What's going on with Adam Cole? Adam Cole super kicking the hell out of Jungle Boy. By the way, that should be down the road. That should be a great matchup. I'm actually looking forward to seeing Cole. Just the matchups alone that we're ultimately going to be able to see there with Adam Cole in AEW. I mean, it's endless. I mean, whether you want to go with Adam Cole and Jungle Boy, or you want to go Cole Punk, you want to go Cole Bryan, you want to go with Cole Christian, Cole, maybe ultimately a Matt Hardy, or you want to go Cole, Allin, Darby Allin. And there's so many great combinations that you can do. It's fucking awesome. It's fucking awesome. So to see him lay him out, we're like, okay, all right, that's good. Pay-per-view's pretty much getting ready to go off. All right, we got this new extra layer now that's happening with the Elite, right? Okay, yeah. So with a guy like Adam Cole by Kenny Omega and them side, yeah, this reign's going to last definitely a little bit longer now that we've got this new layer added in. But wait, we get Bryan Danielson, who fits so perfectly with that whole Jurassic Express thing. I mean, he does. If you really take a step back and you think about it, he fits perfectly with that. I love it. So to see him come out, helping everybody out, balancing the acts here and balancing the numbers of, this is great. This is fucking great. This is fucking great. Yeah, Izzy, I don't know if it's so much about Impact needs a better TV deal. I don't think it's all about the TV deal. I really, really don't, because we've been sending this trend, not to fully talk about Impact, because honestly, we can talk all things Impact on the other shows, but it's more than just they got to get a better TV deal, because when you actually take the time out to do your research and you look at how many households actually have access to Access TV, it's actually a pretty damn good number. It's actually a relatively decent number, and not for nothing, but I remember a time where New Japan Pro Wrestling on Access TV and episodes of WoW Women of Wrestling were pulling in better numbers than Impact Wrestling, FYI. So it's not about getting a better TV deal. So let's squash that right now. Let's officially talk more about this pay-per-view, by the way. Hey, kudos to the fans. Great energy tonight. I loved it. I was a little bit concerned how these fans were going to be, because a lot of these fans, remember, they were here for the first dance. They were here for the freaking final Dynamite. They were here for the final Rampage. Most of these fans. So for them to, majority of them show up to this one and really bring in that energy, because, that can be kind of, you got to be careful there, because these fans, they've pretty much seen it all, right? You just don't know what type of reactions that you're going to get. These fans could honestly just be totally exhausted from everything that they've seen in the past week and everything. But no, these fans, they were very energetic, lively all throughout the night. Oh, got a fun story to share with you guys, too, in regards to All Out. You guys will get a kick out of this. So remember how when CM Punk made his debut, he talked about, hey, on your way out, ice cream bar on me. And the ice cream bars, they were on him. He spent over $2 million. And this was pretty much like 2 years in the making, because the guy that actually runs the ice cream store that did the business with CM Punk, he revealed how all of this had came together and all. And he revealed that CM Punk, out of his own pocket, paid over $2 million to make this whole ice cream bar thing happen for that particular night. So marinate on this now. So you got that first night where the ice cream bars, right, they're free. And then you hear, hey, the week of All Out, we're going to have at Dynamite, at Rampage, at All Out, you guys are going to continue to get ice cream bars. So you're going, oh, yeah, badass. But wait, one thing I'm trying to confirm right now, I don't know if it's happened all week or if it was just at All Out. So I definitely shout out to those of you in the Chicago area that actually were at a lot of these shows tonight. I need you guys to help us out with the clarity, but I'm going to just speak as far as tonight goes. You see how the ice cream bars are selling on eBay, just the wrappers alone. The wrappers alone are selling for $50, $60, past $100. You knew it was just going to be a matter of time before AEW said, nah, you know what? We need to make some money off of this shit. Seriously. One ice cream bar, $16. Bullshit you not. One ice cream bar and a wrapper, $16. Just think about that. Just think about that for a second. And you thought the prices at Busch Gardens was bad, or at the Hershey Park or at King's Dominion, you thought the prices for the food or the drinks were bad just for one fucking ice cream bar. $16. Yo, for $16 for an ice cream bar, man, as soon as I take that first bite, I better be creaming my pants. I better be ready to go curl up in a ball and be ready for sleep. Seriously, for $16, it better be that freaking banging. But, you know, kudos to AEW. I know not everybody is going to like that, but think about it. When you see mofos that are online, and look, you can't hate the hustle. You got to respect the game, right? You got to respect the game. You see mofos that are able to make $50 and up off of a rapper. You'd be a fool if you're that company going, nah, you know what? We just going to continue to give these out. No. It's like, no, okay. Let's make some money off of this. Hey, Punk, we're seeing what's going on. And you know Punk probably got included in the loop. You know they told Punk, hey, look at what's going on here with the ice cream bars here. Yeah, we want to try to capitalize off of this. Look, you know, we'll definitely give you a cut. You know, we're thinking like 70-30. You down? Like, and Punk's like, yeah, sure, whatever. What the hell? Let's make money. Let's do it. Right? So, you know, if I had an opportunity, you know, to Jeff's point in the chat, no thanks on a $16 ice cream bar. Exactly. It's like, you got to be a mega all things CM Punk fan to be invested in some stuff like that. I mean, to each its own. I'm not going to tell anybody what to do with their money. God bless you. You got it like that, and you want to, you know, but me personally, I'd rather have a lot more to show for. I mean, it'd be one thing, I'll say this and we'll move along. It'd be one thing if you were to say to me, hey, man, after this, you know, these are your only opportunities to get this ice cream bar, you know, from CM Punk, this design and all that, because after this, that's it. We're not doing this ever again. Or if we do this again, we're probably not going to do it for another year. Or we're probably not going to do it for another 5 years or some shit like that. If you were to maybe lay it out like that, or say something along the lines of, hey, this will be the last time that we do this, but then, you know, if we do decide we want to do this again next year, the design, everything is going to be totally different. Then it's kind of like, so that's kind of a collector's item because it's the very first. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, to each its own. But me personally, I'd rather have a lot more to show for it personally. Hey, let's talk about the pre-show, right? I've said a lot of good positive things so far, but there's a couple of things that's a little bit rocky here that I want to talk about. By the way, welcome to those of you that's checking out the show right now. You guys having yourself a good time. Make sure if you haven't done so already, you hit that subscribe button. You do that, really helps us out big time. Hit that like button, most importantly. You do anything, hit the like button. When you do that, it helps put more eyeballs on the product. Appreciate that in advance. Pre-show matchup, Best Friends. Orange Cassidy, Chuck Taylor, Wheeler Yuta, Jurassic Express's Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, defeating the Hardy Family Office, HFO, 10-man tag team matchup, 9 minutes, 25 seconds. Look, I got to be honest. This pre-show matchup, this was pretty much your buy-in, all right? This was your buy-in. I got to be honest with you guys. This pre-show opener was a little bit of a clusterfuck, I have to say. It wasn't exactly one of the best laid-out tag team matches I've seen from AEW in recent memory. I personally feel. Now, look, I'm not saying it was a terrible 10-man tag match, but I've seen better from AEW. You know, it felt more like a spot fest, and it was just so chaotic. Chaotic from the standpoint of, where's the proper structure here? Okay, like, I'll give you a perfect example. Of what I mean. And I hate to mention WWE, but let's go with WWE. I'll even mention NWA as well. When they do their respective tag matches, you see how, okay, you know, we got these teams that's kind of respectfully starting off. These members are starting off for their respective teams. And okay, all right, cool. And that's kind of like the main theme of the night. Tag here, a little bit of double team action. Maybe all the teams get in the ring. You know, all types of fucking chaos breaks out or whatever, shit like that. But this one seemed very discombobulated. I would say it just rubbed me the wrong way. I really could not get into this one. Yeah, I would give this one probably a 1 being shit, 10 being awesome sauce. I would probably give this one maybe like a 5 out of 10. I wasn't that impressed with this one. Dan Lambert, Ethan Page, Scorpio Sky, they had cut a promo as they were chilling in their private box. Once again, Dan Lambert brought along with him Andre Olavisky, Jr. Dos Santos to the show. Lambert says they're all just waiting for his instructions on who asses they need to kick next. Also, we saw Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page. They were in the house as well. They were actually up there in the skybox with Dan Lambert. And, they pretty much were taking their little jabs at the AEW roster, trying to put mofos on notice and everything. They've been kind of quiet. We haven't really seen them on AEW programming within recent weeks. So as far as what I would like to see ultimately happen with those guys, I personally, I would love to actually see them lock up again with Darby Allin and Sting. That's me personally. Whether or not that's actually going to pan out kind of remains to be seen. But I personally would love for them to lock it up again. Or maybe they can do a little something there with CM Punk. I personally would love to see Ethan Page, CM Punk trading off on the promos there. I think that would be some really good, epic fucking shit. But, we'll see what happens with that. We'll see what happens with that later down the road. Official pay-per-view match, we go. Miro and Eddie Kingston kicking us off. TNT Championship matchup. Good shit. Good fucking shit. Miro retaining the TNT Championship. Doing it in fucking style, too. Good match. I love this. Great fucking storytelling. Although, look, if I gotta be honest, I wasn't really feeling the end. And as you saw, for those of you that had watched the pay-per-view, as you saw from some of the fans there in attendance, they kind of shitted on this ending as well. And I mean, can you honestly blame them? I mean, look, this was a really good back and forth competitive matchup. It was, but in retrospect, I really can't think of what more they could have done with this match to have it be laid out in a way that would have had the fans, relatively happy. I think what probably made the fans a little bit sour is the fact that the finish just for them, maybe it kind of came out of nowhere. But I mean, when you really just take a step back and you think about it, you look at the length of this match. This match almost went about 15 minutes. Closing moments of this matchup, not to get too, move for move and all that, but the final moments of this matchup, Kingston was back up on his feet, had connected with a DDT on Miro, went in for the cover. Miro kicked out at 2. Kingston then tries to go for a pile driver. Miro blocks it. Miro connects with a low blow mule kick while he was able to distract the referee. Then does a follow-up with a running kick to Kingston's face, and that pretty much had got him the near fall. So, I can kind of understand where some of the fans kind of, because when you're kind of looking at the series of counters there, and you just kind of felt like, nah, Eddie should be able to get out of this. We should... I mean, for me personally, if I could have changed it a little bit, maybe I would have had the match continue. I would have had Eddie Kingston kick out of it, and then they would have continued on longer. And then maybe ultimately Miro decides, okay, you know what? I've had enough of this bullshit. I'm going to end this match for what it's worth, because this is just... getting ridiculous. I would have had Miro ultimately put Kingston in the accolade and just put serious torque on that bad boy. And Kingston, he's not giving up. Kingston is doing his best. He's trying to get to the ropes and everything. But Miro would have just, he would have just had that hold on like a death grip. Maybe you could have had him pull Kingston back in dead center of the ring and pretty much you could have had Miro win that way. But Kingston does not tap out. Instead, Kingston passes out. If you maybe wanted to go for that. See, that sounds good, right? Here's the only problem. Here's the only problem with that. Given what had went down later on in the night between the match MJF and Chris Jericho had, you're kind of going, a little similar. How can this match really stand out on its own here? Need some help. That's the only issue. So I don't really think this could have truly gone down in a way that really would have made the majority of the fans happy. But Miro, God's favorite champion, this man is just continuing week in, week out. He is finding his stride. This is some of his best work, I gotta say. And I've been watching Miro since he debuted in NXT, and this has been some of his best work in his career to date. By the way, he put out one of the most hilarious tweets after he got done beating the hell out of Eddie Kingston's ass. And personally, I would love to see Eddie Kingston and Miro continue this. I really would love to see them continue to lock up, but I don't know, man. I think we're done with these guys, respectfully. But Miro had put out a hilarious tweet after he got done whooping Eddie Kingston's ass. He said, "Ask and you shall receive. Your nuts have been redeemed." Yeah, because Eddie Kingston came out and he had the "Redeem These Nuts" shirt on, and that was quick. I mean, that was fucking quick. It's kind of amazing, too, because somebody I remember when the font design was floating around online, you're going, that's kind of nice. And the very next thing you know, that same font design that you saw, Eddie Kingston was pushing it on a shirt tonight. You're going, wow, that was pretty fucking quick. I actually want to get me one of those shirts, too. I will actually buy me one of those shirts. And I'm just curious the type of reactions I will wear that shirt just to see what type of reactions I would get from people. Because I think that shirt is just fucking hilarious. But no, Miro puts out a tweet saying, "Asking you shall receive. Your nuts have been redeemed." But then fucking CJ Lana Perry, fucking brilliant with her fucking timing. She comes right after that fucking tweet, quotes it in reply saying, "I'll redeem yours when you get home." You're going, oh, snap. I'm like, no, she did it. Yeah, she went there. Good fucking shit. Good fucking shit. Hey, but let me show some more love to you guys here that's leaving comments in the chat before we continue on with the show. But yeah, nice, good slug out back and forth between my guys here. Nice, good back and forth. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat here so far. Let's see. Steven, AEW All Out was I don't know what you're trying to say, Steve. You got to clean that up, my brother. Corey had missed the pay-per-view. Okay. Jeffrey didn't get a chance to get the pay-per-view, but he was happy to hear about some of the stuff that had went down, including what went down with Ruby Soho. Let's see. And here's the thing, Millennial is saying AEW signing ex-WWE stars like it's no tomorrow. Yeah, they're ex-WWE stars, but look, guess what? They're free agents. When they've all honored their contracts, they no longer are tied to that respected company. They can do whatever they want, wherever they want. I touched upon this on the Awesome Con panel I did a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, am I a little bit concerned about Tony Khan just, like Pokemon, and he's just every single time there's a wrestler from WWE? I am a little bit concerned. At the same time, it's like, okay, well, you know what? At least he's going for the ones that the majority of the fans really did follow, have great appreciation for and everything. Just when you thought, okay, he's getting a little bit too crazy here with some of these talents that he's just recruiting. And, you got 4 shows right now, basically. You got 4 shows right now. It's like, but then you hear Tony Khan say, no, we're actually going to be hiring more wrestlers. We actually need more wrestlers on our roster. You're going, you sure about that? Kind of seems like optics from a distance. You have a hard time as it is juggling the talents that you got, and you're saying that you actually need to hire more. And but man, can't nobody really say, like, majority of what we had got tonight, can't nobody really say anything like that'd be no different. So like, what if you used to work for McDonald's, you essentially put in your respected time, you're ready to go work elsewhere, you decide that, I want to stay with the fast food industry, I'm going to go on ahead and I'm going to go work for Red Robin, or I'm going to go work for Chick-fil-A. And let's say that Chick-fil-A, all the employees, or at least out of 100%, 45% of the folks that they're getting used to work at McDonald's, but they were pretty damn good at their job. What? We're supposed to ignore the fact that they used to work at McDonald's? No, that's irrelevant. You're going to go, okay, you got the experience. Okay, yeah, I see you did XYZ here. You did XYZ there. Like, okay, yeah, no. Yeah, you hired. I want you. Let's see what you can do. That's how you're going to do it. That's how you're going to do it. That's exactly how you're going to do it. Let's continue on. I'll get to some more of you guys' comments in a little bit here. So we just got done talking about Miro, Eddie Kingston. Next matchup on the card, Jon Moxley taking on Kojima. This was actually pretty good, but sadly, here's the biggest problem in regards to this matchup. Here's the biggest problem. Sadly, most fans had to Google this guy that Jon Moxley was facing, look up some stuff on YouTube and all that, and kind of go, oh, okay, well, yeah, this should be actually a pretty good matchup and everything. Okay, and there's nothing wrong if you did that. If you hear me burping, it's the beer. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? But here's one piece of constructive feedback I'd like to give to AEW, and whenever possible, they got to do a better job here. We pretty much have found out Moxley was going to be taking on Kojima like about 2 weeks before All Out. They got to do a better job in really threading the needle and making fans feel that investment, understand what's so important about Jon Moxley's opponent that he's facing. I don't mind this relationship where AEW is able to work with New Japan, and we're seeing, I don't mind any of that, okay? But we gotta, look, I'm down with not insulting the fans' intelligence. That your wrestling fans, yeah, you got teens, but that's not really the true demo. It's not really the core of your audience. But at the same time, you also got to make sure that you're giving context to some of these opponents that are coming into AEW from these other promotions, and why fans need to give a damn, because sadly, not everybody is checking out New Japan. Not everybody is doing that, sadly. So, I mean, it'd be one thing if you continue to have crossovers like Jericho, Moxley, Punk, and now that you got Punk and Daniel Bryan, you really can't help but wonder, yeah, man, as far as down the road, could we maybe see something here where these guys do some work in Japan? Right? You would hope so, because if ever there was a time to really, okay, let's really try to strengthen this relationship with New Japan. Let's really try to have fans invest more into New Japan and what they're doing over there and everything. You've got the right guys in place, even a Malachi Black, have him do some shit with New Japan. You've got the pieces in place. The only question is how receptive is New Japan going to be to that, and what's in it for them. And then with the talents that they have available that's able to cross on over to AEW, you got to continue to do it just like that. You can't just you can't continue, because you can do all of that acting like you busting a fat one all you want. If the fans don't know who the fuck they're looking at, they aren't really going to care. The first thing they're going to do is go on to Google search, go on YouTube, and then they're pretty much going to go from there. And it's either going to be meh, Well, I guess, like, but, one thing that I thought was pretty cool. And look, luckily, I know I'm not a New Japan Pro Wrestling fan, like a hardcore fan, but I know enough of New Japan to know my guys when I see them. Kojima, Moxley, I thought they clicked extremely well. I enjoyed their match. Somebody was telling me that, hey, this ain't the first time that they've done something. I'm like, really? Like, yeah, as far as I recall. I'm like, well, if that's the case, okay, cool. But for me, this was my first time, because if they did something prior, I don't know nothing about it. So for me, this was my first time seeing them tonight, locking it up. Very physical, very hard hitting and everything. Moxley picking up the victory there. Better build up. They got to do better build up, better connections. In this digital age where you got enough of an opportunity to put shit out there all on your social media platforms and really build up matches and shit. Honestly, think about this. Think about this before we continue on, because something really cool did happen post-match there involving Moxley that we're going to touch upon in a second that I felt was kind of redeeming. But just consider this for a second. You're telling me that we could not splice in something for a little pre-show package or, what have you, or with the countdown to All Out that aired after Rampage. You're telling me we couldn't splice in a little, put together a little something. You understand what I'm saying? So, like, when you got all that time in the world and you're really trying to make that investment, hey, here's why you need to care about this matchup. Here's why you need to care about this opponent that Moxley is facing right here. You got to thread that needle. You just got to. You got to. There's just no excuse. Now, post-match, pretty fucking badass. By the way, as far as how Moxley had ended up picking up the W here, closing moments of this one, Moxley, Kojima going back and forth, trading off on elbow shots. Moxley just lays the hell out of Kojima with a lariat. He then locks in a bulldog choke, but Kojima was able to make it to the ropes in time. Kojima catches a kick from Moxley, comes back with a knee in Moxley's elbow. Kojima then goes for his own lariat, but Moxley counters it with the paradigm shift. Moxley hits a second paradigm shift, gets the 3 count. Now here's what's really badass. Moxley wasn't able to celebrate the victory that long. When all of a sudden we hear this music, we're going, oh, okay. That doesn't sound like Kojima's music, so who is this person that's getting ready to come out here? What's going on? It sounds Japanese, the music that you're hearing, and you're not being discriminating in any way. You're just going, oh, that kind of sounds like some Far East Japanese music. What's going on here? And we see the graphics show up, and you're going, wait, is that? And sure enough, it's the man in the flesh, 53-year-old Minoru Suzuki. And man, I had a couple of moments where I was yelling at the TV in a positive way, like, let's go. And when I saw Minoru Suzuki come out, I'm going, yeah, baby, let's go. And I'm going, yeah, I know enough. New Japan, Suzuki. Whew. And to hear the fans react to Suzuki. But see, here's the thing. We got to understand something here. That crowd tonight, that's the crowd that is, we know our shit. We're all over the place. We know a thing or two about what's happening in various wrestling promotions. So they got the right reactions because they had the right type of crowds that were in play. And I know from personal experience, having been out there in Chicago for CM Punk's meet and greet some years back, and we were waiting in the lines there. I was interacting with various wrestling fans, and my God, them fans, it felt so refreshing to talk with wrestling fans that knew their shit. They could either talk WWE or they could talk ROH or they could talk a little New Japan. It was refreshing that even some of them knew what was going on the women's scene for the women's promotions and all that. That was badass. So this was the right crowd to pull this in front of. So Minoru Suzuki, great fucking reaction. Now, I'm gonna tell you guys straight up, if you don't know anything about Minoru Suzuki, get a head start now. You guys pretty much, because it was announced that Jon Moxley and Suzuki, they are going to be clashing on this week's Dynamite. And a lot of people were concerned, well, wait a minute, are we even really going to see this on AEW's turf, or is this going to be some type of another New Japan setup for maybe one of their pay-per-views, or hey, let's not forget, Moxley. Isn't Moxley now the new GCW champion? I think something had went down where he became the new GCW champion there. So a lot of people were kind of going, okay, maybe it's going to be Minoru. Yeah, he ended Matt Cardona's championship reign there. A short reign because he just won the damn title a couple of weeks ago. I don't even think, now that I'm thinking about it, and you guys could correct me if I'm wrong because I don't follow GCW hardly. But if I'm not mistaken, I don't even think Matt Cardona held the GCW championship even 2 months. And he lost it to Moxley. So, there was a little bit of concern when you saw that, oh shit, it's going to be Moxley and Suzuki, because you're going, well, not for nothing, but Moxley is already scheduled to appear at a handful of GCW shows. So you're kind of going, is that maybe where Suzuki and Moxley are maybe going to be throwing down? But they already made the announcement later on in the show that this coming Wednesday's Dynamite, Moxley, Suzuki, they're going to be throwing down. If you don't know anything about Suzuki, now's the time. And you know, especially with the holiday and all that, hop on YouTube. Man, what I love about Suzuki, he is a straight up shoot fighter. This guy is just, it doesn't get any tougher. It doesn't get any, you want to look for somebody that's just a straight up fucking brawler. This is the guy. This guy is the real fucking deal. And he has one of the most impressive mixed martial arts records. This guy's a legit fighter. He is a fucking legit fighter. He is a fucking badass. Former British heavyweight champion, co-holder currently of the British Tag Team Championship with Zack Sabre Jr., the Suzuki gun stable there over at the RPW promotion, Rev Pro Wrestling, Revolution Pro Wrestling. Well, I mean, when you just think of freestyle wrestling and you think about that catch style type of wrestling, Suzuki is the fucking man. And just the people that have gone under him to get their respected training and everything. Yeah, catch wrestling, freestyle, straight up shoot wrestling. This man is a fucking beast. And when you look at his MMA record, I mean, he's had about at least maybe 50 fights. And this guy has won about 30 of them. 22 of them by submission. So, I mean, when it comes to his submission game is on fucking point. So, again, you guys are in for a serious treat. Research now. Get on your shit, especially if you got a couple of days off due to the holiday. Get on your shit now. And that way, when Wednesday comes around, you'll be ready to go when it comes to seeing Moxley and Suzuki go at it. I don't think you're going to get a pay-per-view quality type of a matchup between those guys on Dynamite. Then again, I could be wrong. But we'll see what happens. But hopefully this is like a first opening act of many good things that's going to be to come between Moxley and Suzuki. And if you're just kind of following along that path there, well, maybe ultimately Moxley is going to get his wish, and he is going to be able to get his hands on Tanahashi, in AEW territory. Maybe it ultimately will happen, right? Fingers crossed. But it kind of seems like Moxley, you can make an argument, seems he's going through his own pillar of Jericho, so to speak, in order to try to get to Tanahashi. We'll have to wait and see how that continues to pan out there. Let's keep rocking and rolling. We got some more great action to talk about here. We're doing pretty good on Showtime so far, too, by the way. Next matchup, AEW Women's World Championship match. Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, defeating Kris Statlander to retain her championship. Okay, look. Decent match. But I gotta be honest with you guys. It started off good. It did. It started off good. However, there were some spots in this match where I'm going, Jesus Christ. How are you girls still able to fucking walk? Because there were, and I think you guys that saw the pay-per-view would definitely agree with me. There were definitely some spots in there where you're going, oh man, that was a clusterfuck waiting to happen. Oh, that looked really brutal. That could have ended so differently. You know, somebody could have been seriously freaking injured right here. What the flying hell, man? I cringed a couple of times at some of the stuff that was going on. Excuse me. I cringed a couple of times at some of the spots that was going on in this matchup. But they redeemed themselves, you know, because it was interesting because it's like you had a good start in the middle, but then you had a good strong finish. And I think when you look at just okay, you started good and then you ended good, but that middle was kind of it's like overall you did all right. Yes, you did okay. For me, I felt that the girls did all right. They rounded out pretty good here. Closing moments of this one, Statlander's Area 51 no go as Britt Baker was able to pretty much turn it into a crossface. That gets countered into an electric chair face plant, followed up with an axe kick on Statlander. Or actually, no, Statlander to Baker only got her near fall. Baker is sent outside, does a big dive, doesn't connect with that one. From there, Statlander on the offense again. She's able to counter the lockjaw. Spider Crab is countered as Baker just comes out of nowhere with a Panama Sunrise from the top turnbuckle. So a nice little homage there to her boo. And that had made the fans just jump up. I mean, she did that shit perfectly. Perfectly. I mean, smooth like butter, too. I mean, she did it. She just, I'm looking at this, I'm going, I know she didn't just, and I actually rewinded it back. I'm going, and she pulled off the Panama Sunrise excellently. But she wasn't done. As soon as she did the Panama Sunrise, you know, that pretty much was like, nope, 2 count. But then she immediately went right into the lockjaw. And that time she was able to connect, got her to retain for her championship. I like how AEW had essentially been building up Kris Statlander these past several weeks. I like the fact that they got away from the silly little from another planet, this whole alien type of bullshit that was going on with her. Try to make her come off more serious. And at the same time, sorry about that. And at the same time, make her be more of a legit threat to Britt Baker's championship. So I thought they did a pretty good job in how they handled the booking of Kris Statlander there and everything. Nice, good back and forth between the two. Nice little drama that was going on. Statlander overall, very good opponent, very credible opponent as well for Britt Baker. You know, we're at an interesting interface right now, though, in regards to Britt Baker, because how long do you continue to have Britt Baker try to come out here week in and week out, and she's cutting these promos, and she's supposed to be this bad guy. She's doing heel-like tendencies and all of this other jazz, but the fans are continuing to cheer her on and everything. They've pretty much dictated that they love Britt Baker, and you know they want to worship her. They fuck with her, and we're at this crossroads here where if you're AEW, you got to figure out here, well, what do you do here? How do you go about reaffirming, doubling down on no. Just because you guys are getting right behind her, you're supporting her, you're fans of her work, that don't mean a damn thing. She's still Britt Baker, DMD. She still doesn't like none of you mofos. How do you go about, or do you maybe have her, have have a change of heart, so to speak. It's interesting right here. But keeping all of that in mind, as interesting of a dilemma that's on the hands now for Tony Khan and them, yeah, she's going to be champion for quite a long time. To follow up what I said a couple of weeks ago, I don't see anybody taking that championship away from her. Definitely not for the rest of 2021. I don't. Maybe we could entertain something spring of 2022, but I'm not seeing anybody take it away from her anytime soon, at least this calendar year. Next matchup. Oh, by the way, we did see Andrade El Idolo and Chavo Guerrero as they were backstage being interviewed by Alex Marvez. They were denying that they had anything to do with Pac's recent travel issues, but El Idolo says that he is ready for Pac on Rampage. Now, look, if I am Hotels.com or if I am Travelocity, I am fucking getting my 5, 10, 15 minutes of fame, and I'm tweeting to AEW, hey, heard that one of your talents had some transportation issues. We've been around a long time, and we've always had a very good, reputable reputation for, making sure that as far as traveling, our clients' needs, whether they need a car, hotel, blah, 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 airline, they're covered. I would just love to see somebody like a Travelocity just get in right there and that'd be badass, especially if it ultimately led to AEW's brought to you in part by our newest sponsor, Travelocity. That would just be fucking epic funny and cool, I personally think. But FYI, remember, you heard that here first if you didn't hear that before from anybody else. Next matchup, tag team titles on the line. We got new tag champions, yo. Pentagon, El Zero Miedo, and Rey Fenix defeating the Young Bucks. I told you guys when I was offering match predictions, I said, man, I did one of two matches. I think I put an asterisk by this match that titles could change, but I stayed with the Bucks. I just was not that confident that that Lucha Brothers would be the ones to be the guys. I wasn't confident enough that they would be the victors in this. I felt that if it was going to be anybody, it was going to be Jurassic Express. That Jurassic Express, they were the guys that should be going over. So I wasn't that convinced going into this. But to see that Lucha Brothers became the tag champions, and of all the matches on the entire card tonight, I definitely would say this was one of three of my absolute favorite matches out of the entire card of the night. But Lucha Brothers, Young Bucks, 5 stars all the way. 5 stars all the way. 10 out of 10 all the way. This was a fantastic freaking matchup from start to finish. I guess when you really kind of think about it, though, in retrospect, you kind of feel as though, now, you know what, they kind of actually did have to do this title change, because if you weren't going to do it here, then it's like, okay, well, who is going to be that one team that is going to be the ones to get the titles off of the Young Bucks? Right? Who's it going to be? So when you kind of look at it in retrospect, it did kind of feel like the Bucks had to lose it right here, and they did. It was a heck of a match. Definitely one of the show stealer matches of the night for me. Awesome stuff. One thing, I didn't care for Lucha Bros introduction. They basically had got a nice live rap version of their song that was done by the band that's been doing it the whole time for them and everything. The little song that they come out to. And look, you're talking to somebody that's been a big fan, supporter. I got many albums, mixtapes, whole 9 yards of hip hop, rap, all that. I like my beats just as good as the next person and everything. But one thing that was just glaring to me the whole time I'm looking at this performance, I'm going, this shit's out of sync. The rap flow, it's just not matching up to the beat. It's like just no flow, like no rhythm whatsoever. Like it was bad. And then the other thing that was kind of making me scratch my head a little bit was, dude, this is Chicago, Illinois. Come on now. We're not in Florida. We're not in Texas. We're not in Cuba. We're not in California, right? We're in Chicago. So, to come on out there and you're doing the whole, rap thing and all that, you're like, come on now. And you're that fan. You're just pretty much, I'm going to tell you something. I was instantly reminded of the Dave Chappelle skit where Dave Chappelle and John Mayer, they're in the barber shop. And you remember that skit, and they're playing the different types of music, and it's got one certain group of people, they're dancing and all of that. Look that up. That's just type in on a YouTube search, Dave Chappelle, John Mayer, barbershop. You'll see it. It's the funniest shit that you will fucking watch. I promise you that. But I just kind of felt like that as I was watching it. But you know what? Look. It was better than Kanye's new album. Yeah, I said it. Bring it. I said it. But a good tag match. Definitely a fantastic tag match. Happy to see we got new tag champions. Legit. I'm happy to see we got new tag champions. You got to give the Bucks a lot of credit. I know the Bucks, and I've been one of the Bucks' harshest critics. I've told you guys constantly, what kind of Bucks are we going to get? Are we going to get the type of Bucks that's going to go in there and super kick, 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 right? Match is over. Super kick, Bucks win. Post-match, super kick, super kick. Or are you going to get those type of Bucks, or are we going to get some Bucks that's actually going to show up and they're trying to do their best to tell a story here? And, there was one spot in the match that I didn't care for where everybody was doing this whole ring around the rosy series of super kicks on each other. Even Lucha Brothers getting involved in that. I didn't care for that spot. I thought that was just hokey dokey stupid. But overall, great match. And I know the Bucks get a lot of hazing online. It's one thing if you want to, like the constructive criticism I just put out there. But, man, there are people that just legit hate just the sight of the Bucks, just the mere sight of them. Talking about, can you just picture that for a second? Just imagine being a dude and you tripping over how another dude is dressed, how another dude wears his facial hair, type of pants he wears. That like, whoa, like when you get your degree in fashion police, like what the fuck, man? Like that. That's when you just got to pump the brakes and go, man, are they doing that good of a job getting under your skin? Or are you taking it to a personal level that you just need to pump the brakes and kind of maybe take a little break for a little bit, right? So, but look, give them their due. Give them their due. They fucking went out there month in, month out. They've put on, every single time those tag belts have been on the line, they've put on fantastic tag matches. They've also done their best to make the tag team division, as a whole, they've definitely done their part in helping elevate it and put in the spotlight on other certain tag teams. For sure, teams like, I'm drawing a blank right now on Private Party, guys like Private Party, definitely for a team like Jurassic Express, FTR. So, to now see it be the Lucha Brothers, good shit right there. All right, let's keep rocking and rolling here. Next up, we got the Casino Battle Royale. Casino Battle Royale was up next. Good match. Good matchup. Good little Casino Battle Royale that they did right here. So let me tell you how this went down as far as who was who. So for your clubs, because your clubs started it off, Sheeta, Sky Blue, Emi Sakura, The Bunny, and Abaddon. Your diamonds were Anna Jay, Kiera Hogan, Kylan King, Diamante, and Nyla Rose. Your hearts are your girls that drew hearts. Thunder Rosa, Penelope Ford, Rio, Jamie Hayter, Big Swole. And for your spades, Tay Conti, Red Velvet, Layla Hirsch, Jade Cargill, and Rebel. Now, as far as who had the most eliminations, that actually was Nyla Rose. Nyla Rose had the most at 5. Second place, Jade Cargill. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. Jamie Hayter, for you Hater fans out there. Hater fans. I like how I said that. That's a good one. For you Hater fans out there, she came in at 3rd place with 2 eliminations. So this was, I was watching this. Remember what I said to you guys? I said, okay, I'm pretty confident in maybe a Ruby Soho, but what's going to happen there with the other slot? Do you maybe give that other slot to an NWA girl? And if so, do you give that slot to maybe a girl like Camille? And remember the question I brought up a couple of days ago on the show? I said, would make sense that Billy Corgan and crew, they kind of get a little rub off there from what they did with Empower, because after all, Tony Khan did help them with a couple of girls from AEW, for the NWA event, so all right, one turn deserves another here. And apparently it was revealed, I guess it was revealed a couple of hours before the pre-show or something like that, but Tony Khan had revealed that Sky Blue was going to get the other spot. So you're going, well, if you're a Camille fan, you're going, well, so much for Camille. That fucking sucks. It would have been nice to see her in there, or maybe even see maybe even see Genocide or whatever. But Sky Blue, hey, no problem. But I mean, my God, Sky Blue got eliminated so freaking fast. It wasn't even funny. Sky Blue was the, God, I'm trying to think. Yeah, she got eliminated pretty damn fast. She got eliminated by Sheeta. So definitely before the Diamonds came out, from what I recall, before the Diamonds had came out, yeah, Sky Blue got taken out. Homegirl didn't even make it 3 minutes. She didn't even make it 3 minutes, and you're just kind of like, well, thanks for coming. Nice little appearance. Thank you. Right? So that was kind of crazy. Jade Cargill looking pretty good, looking pretty impressive there. The girl to draw Joker, Ruby Soho. Ruby Soho drawing Joker. Great fucking reaction that she received from the crowd. Ruby Riot, for those of you wondering who the hell. By the way, Ruby Soho's vignettes that she was putting out there every single week, I thought that was pretty badass. I love how it was just so engaging and getting folks, okay, so where is she gonna pop up? And you're like trying to cross-reference, okay, this promotion, okay, it looks like they're kind of doing something over here around this, like, right? And I just love these little vignettes that she was doing all these weeks leading up into, okay, just where exactly is she gonna land here? Where exactly is she gonna go here? And man, great reaction, great ovation that she got from the crowd. Good shit. I've been a fan of Ruby for a long time. I know she refuses to go back to that name, Heidi Lovelace and all that, but that's how long I've been a fan of her work. I remember her under that freaking name, and being a supporter of hers when she was on the independents long before she came to the WWE. And of all the releases that had came about from WWE, that definitely was one release that not only left me scratching my head, but honestly left me a little bit mad at the WWE, because I felt that they never truly gave Ruby, her just due. I felt that they never did really give her the opportunities to excel, and I don't think that's going to be an issue whatsoever with her being in AEW. And look, we all know deep down in our hearts that with a girl like Ruby Riott, she would have been fine in any promotion because that's just one of those type of girls, plug and play. Like, you want to put her in NWA, she'll do just fine. You want to put her in ROH, that's fine as well. You want to put her in the Knockouts division for Impact, that's fine as well. She would have been fine anywhere. But the fact that she's being put in there in AEW, I mean, another great centerpiece for AEW's women's division. And that's the one thing that I hope that amongst other podcasters, especially the veteran podcasters, I really hope that they're homing in on this here, because while we're all focused on the Adam Coles, the Daniel Bryans, the CM Punks and everything, one thing we got to make sure that we home in on, that's just slowly, quietly, just chipping away and is getting better and better and better by the month. AEW's women's division. It is like the least talked about glowing thing amongst wrestling fans. And they're just, especially when you look at it from this standpoint, when you just look at when the AEW women's division had initially started, go back to the initial inception of AEW and everything, and how Brandy Rhodes was pretty much the centerpiece for that women's division, and all the jokes that was coming from out of it. Remember that? Wasn't that long ago. And you had a majority of fans that were looking at the women's division, questioning the women's division, questioning how there is a lack of with that women's division and everything. And to see it go from its inception to where it is now, wow. Really, really great pieces that they have, and just at the core centered around that women's division where, it's definitely gonna really, really thrive. Having girls like freaking Ruby, just the years of veteran experience that she brings to the table. And then you've got my girl Thunder Rosa, which, by the way, Thunder Rosa and Ruby having a great one-on-one face-off at the end there to try to figure out who was going to be the winner of that Casino Royale. Yeah, definitely down the road, we're going to be getting that. We're going to be getting that fucking matchup. You know it's going to be happening, right? Right? But you got those two girls right there. And then you also got Diamante. For what it's worth, Diamante is definitely freaking badass. Let's not also forget we've got what's my girl's name that was the NWA Women's Champion, but she ultimately lost the title to Camille. I'm trying to think of her name right now because she's now with AEW full time. She used to work with the NWA. I'm trying to think of her name right now, and Serena Deeb. Just think about the years of experience combined and all that between just some of those girls that I had mentioned. Let's not also forget we got a girl like Leva Bates. I know she's been kind of quiet behind the scenes, and she's usually doing some stuff, social media, hyping up what's going on and everything. She was doing it tonight with All Out, but hey, she's a veteran as well. I mean, she stayed tearing it up on the independents. Let's not sleep on her now. Don't sleep on a girl like Leva Bates, right? So you got all that great experience there that's going on with that women's division, and then you see just the trickle down effect that it's having on other girls. You see how far along the Bunny. I mean, the great improvements that the Bunny is making, right? Britt Baker, she continues to improve on a monthly basis, okay? Jade Cargill, she will be a champion without a shadow of a doubt, but way too soon. I know everybody wants that instant gratification right now, but she's still very, very green. I'm sure she would probably most likely say to you guys, hey, look, that'd be something cool to happen down the road, but I'm enjoying the journey. I'm enjoying the path to getting to that point and everything. That women's division is really, really take Conti. That division is really, really coming along, and we got to keep in mind that this was way before all the talk about, women's revolution and NWA Empower and all this other stuff. They've just been chipping away, and they're doing pretty good. They're doing pretty good. Now they've just gotta keep up with what they've been doing, continue to build on the momentum and everything, and make sure that it continues to trickle on down and everything. They got to continue to make sure they do that. But nice face off at the end there between Ruby Soho and Thunder Rosa. Nice, good back and forth, fighting it out outside the ropes. Looked as though it really could have gone either way. Ruby coming out with the decisive victory. So she is going to be the one that will get to challenge the AEW Women's Champion in Britt Baker. Wonder when that's going to be going down. Is that going to play out on Dynamite programming, or is that going to be playing itself out on AEW's next pay-per-view, which is going to be Full Gear? We got a little ways to go before Full Gear too, because Full Gear is not going to be going down until November, if I recall correctly. I kind of feel like saying November 13th. I'm actually looking at the calendar right now. Yes, it's going to go down in St. Louis, Missouri at the, looks like it's going to be at the Chavetz Arena, St. Louis. And look, NWA was just there. So that should be kind of interesting to see what's going to happen with that one. All right, next matchup we got, let's go. Chris Jericho defeating MJF via submission. Singles match, 21 minutes, 15 seconds. Remember, had Jericho lost, he would have retired from in-ring competition. Now, I told you guys MJF was going to win. So if you want to be technical, and I think you have to, I actually got it right. But they ended up restarting this match. And they ended up restarting this match because referee Aubrey Edwards, she did not see when Jericho had put his foot on the ropes way before she started counting and everything. And as she counted the 1, the 2, the 3, you're going, oh shit, that's it. You got Shivani and them. I think they kind of, at the commentating position, I think they kind of overplayed their hand a little bit, because they were just instant like gravy all over that finish. You're just kind of going, I don't think this is going to hold up. Don't think this is going to hold up. Yeah, don't think this is going to hold up. Sure enough, it takes another referee to come out, Topper Shot, as I like to call him, because whenever I see that referee, he reminds me of the weatherman we got out here in the nation's capital, Topper Shot, who is on WUSA 9. Looks just like him. But he comes out, lets referee Aubrey Edwards know, hey. Nah, his foot was on the ropes way before you even began to count. Yeah, I saw with my own 2 eyes, like, no. So Aubrey, hearing that, she decides, okay, yeah, you know what? Let's restart this match. So the match, it restarts. And this pretty much, how we pretty much had got to that point. There was a distraction, basically, that had let MJF get in the baseball bat. He pretty much got in a shot, and he was able to get in a Judas effect on Jericho, and that got him the pin. But the foot was on the rope of Jericho's, and that pretty much had got the match restarted and everything. So bell rings, Jericho grabs MJF for a roll-up. You're going, oh, shit, we're pretty much going to go out like this? This is how it's pretty much going to end? No. And then there was a kick out. MJF comes right back, hits Salt of the Earth. From there, it gets reversed into a roll-up. It's 2 count. Hold goes back yet again. This time we see Jericho manages to reverse the hold into a Walls of Jericho. MJF is dragged to the middle of the ring. So that kind of follows up what we were talking about earlier. As cool as that would have been to see Miro with the accolade on Kingston and seeing that kind of tug of war, maybe seeing Kingston pass out, right? Kind of thinking how things played out in this match. That probably wouldn't have been good right here. MJF ultimately, no choice, tapping out cleanly to Jericho in the middle of the ring. Yeah, by the way, MJF trolling people with the countdown to Jericho. That actually was my favorite spot of the night, especially hearing the fans get all nice and worked up and shit. I'm going, as I'm seeing this play out, I'm saying to the wifey, because she actually watched a good majority of this pay-per-view with me, and she's like, wait a minute. She's like, really? I'm like, yeah, it looks like Retro Jericho, and I didn't want to let her know, because I already knew what was going on. I knew MJF was trolling. You got the nice little classic graphics and all of that. The rant. You got the whole classic shit. And then you see the one fucking text that pops up, the countdown once it reaches 0, and you see countdown to Jericho's last match. And you're going, oh! And then you got Jericho, the fucking shit disappearing. You have MJF come out. You're going, good fucking troll. That's a good fucking troll, man. MJF, if I had one caveat there, why my man coming out though looking like the Burger King, yo? Seriously, go look up that fucking costume he was wearing. Only thing missing was the goddamn fucking little mascot helmet, little mask, and him just coming out there, just not saying a damn thing, just got, Burger King sandwiches in his hand and shit. Try the new Burger Chicken from Burger King, right? That was the only thing missing, was that big ass head on his joint, yo. That was it. But good matchup. Good matchup right there between those two guys. Just trying to figure out if there's anything more I want to say in addition to, for MJF, he's continuing to put out really good shit. I mean, this is some of his best work that he's been doing. Anytime you're able to get him and Jericho together, they always bring out the best in each other when it's all said and done. I like the great false finish. I like that with the boot on the rope. I like that whole thing. I'm still a little bit on the fence, though, about, okay, so what happens with MJF going forward here? Because it just kind of felt like MJF would have benefited more off of, you feel where I'm coming from? Because then you could have essentially made an argument here where maybe somewhere down the road, if anybody essentially had the power to pretty much bring back Chris Jericho, MJF could have been the one to pretty much do that. But good high profile match for MJF. If you're AEW, you gotta figure out how to, okay, let's ride this. Even though MJF lost, we got to continue to build off of this. Where do we go from here next? That's kind of like the next chapter here. Next up, Darby Allin, CM Punk. This was, for me, no bullshit, this was, for me, a match of the year candidate. Definitely a match of the year candidate. I got to tell you something, man. Watching Punk tonight, he did not look winded, out of breath. Seemed, he didn't seem like he was, all right, I'm out there for about 3 minutes, I'm already blown out. He didn't come off that way whatsoever. My man still got it. 42 going on 43, the man still got it. If you're a fan of Darby Allin, I know there was a couple of comments earlier in the chat where some people were saying, oh, Darby Allin, he got his ass kicked. If you want to look at it like that, that's fine and dandy. But if you're a true Darby Allin fan and you love all things pro wrestling, you're actually taking a step back and you're looking at that match and you're going, God damn. Especially if you didn't sadly get a chance to check out Darby Allin's shit on the independents, you're going, man, just with what I've been seeing so far of Darby Allin and AEW, to date, this was actually one of his greatest in-ring matches. No bullshit. I mean, the way these guys went in there, this was pretty much a straight up mat-based technician type of a match. This was extremely well put together, and it was designed in such a way where, no, we want to really show that CM Punk, when it comes to what he does best in the ring here, that he is essentially, even though it's, it's really Daniel Bryan that's the best in the world, but we know for the longest time CM Punk, best in the world. He is still one of the best in-ring mat generals, CM Punk. I love this. I love this. And then again, for Darby Allin, you're looking at this, and if you had trepidations at first, you're going, Darby, in-ring technician? Darby, wrestling? What the fuck? What I saw of Darby Allin tonight, and I know we're probably going to upset a few folks, but hopefully they really hear me out on this one. Hopefully they do. What I saw of Darby Allin tonight just reaffirmed in my mind what I saw of him less than 48 hours ago on Rampage against Daniel Garcia. It reaffirmed that point, which was, wow, Darby is such a fantastic wrestler. Like he really is a great in-ring wrestler. It just got me going, man, this kid doesn't need to do all that fucking jackass stupid shit. Taking all these crazy ass stupid bumps, going down fucking stairs, being strong Irish whipped into a fucking table. The one spot that made me cringe tonight was seeing when Darby Allin took a GTS early by CM Punk. It was kind of like one of those. It was almost kind of like a Stone Cold Steve Austin stunner to Scott Hall, and Scott Hall just keeps flipping through the calendar dates as he's selling the fuck out of that move, basically. We see Darby Allin, he sells it, but he bounces out in between the ropes and crashes onto the canvas back first. I'm going, kid, I get it. But my man, you don't need to do all that crazy shit, man. You don't need to do all that. My biggest fear, and it's just from a place of fear and legit concern for the young man. That's all. That's all. And I'm sure some people that saw that spot tonight, or just when they look at Darby Allin's work overall, I'm sure that there's a lot of fans that probably would agree with me. It's like, yeah, dude, now that we see what you're really capable of, you don't need to do all that crazy ass jackass shit. Just go in there and have the right type of stories. We can still essentially get this Darby Allin, the whole darkness and black and white videos and, paper mache mask of his opponents. We can still do all that crazy cool shit, but we don't need to keep seeing him do all those crazy ass little bumps, because he's so much more than that. He really, really is. And that was just that point was just reaffirmed in my mind tonight, as far as I was concerned. I don't know about you guys, but definitely sound off, because I'm very curious what you guys had thought about Punk versus Darby. Punk, pretty damn good shape too. Look, I'll be honest. He had that, okay, he's in his 40s kind of body. If you want to say it was a dad bod or whatever, you definitely go there. But, he looked to be in pretty damn good shape compared to most guys, including myself, that's in their 40s. Okay, he might not be pushing the 8-pack abs or whatever, but, he looked like a guy that gives a flying fuck about his cardio conditioning and everything, and was definitely on top of his stuff. Wasn't wearing trunks, by the way. I definitely want to make sure we stress that point. He was not wearing trunks. He had the usual signature style type of designs that we're accustomed to, that's normally on his trunks and all of that. But no, he wore tights. He actually wore, long-legged tights. And I thought it actually complimented him pretty good. It was a nice black, kind of sky blue trim design that he had going on with the stars and all that. I thought it was kind of cool. I was telling wifey, I said, interesting. He doesn't have the 5 stars on the back of his trunks or in the front. And she was like, well, maybe he'll bring that back maybe once he's champion or something. I'm like, maybe. I'm like, or maybe what we're looking at is kind of incomplete. She's like, yeah, could be. She's like, could be, but I don't really think so. Like, we'll see. It's kind of one of those type of deals. Because I know he had put out a tweet right before the pay-per-view, probably like a couple of nights ago, and he had said, oh, shit, I need boots. He's like, shit, I still need an attire. So I'm curious how the turnaround for what he had wore tonight. I'm curious what was going on with that, and that was kind of one of those HBK Shawn Michaels moments. You guys remember that when HBK had the brown tights? Remember that? And it turns out, we found out a little while later, those were actually incomplete. The design that we were looking at there was actually incomplete. Yeah, remember that? And he won the World Heavyweight Championship, if you guys recall, right? So no interference in this matchup whatsoever, by the way. There was no interference whatsoever in this matchup. I love seeing CM Punk and Darby Allin get in there. Darby did most of the heavy lifting in this matchup. When it came to, really, okay, I got to sell the bumps. He really fucking sold for CM Punk. You could tell that at certain points, CM Punk was, giving him a couple of, I won't say orders, but you could tell there's a couple of times where CM Punk was locking up with Darby Allin and would get him in a headlock or whatever, and he's rubbing his mouth right next to his head and pretty much feeding to Darby some audibles there, but this was one of those matches. It breathed pretty good. It did breathe pretty good between the opponents. Definitely had a nice, good, big match type of feel to it. Punk came out looking pretty good. He did not look like a sap in any capacity. Post-match, Sting comes out, checks in on Allin. At this point, you're going, up, women now. He's gonna attack. Punk's gonna attack Sting. It didn't happen. Punk, Sting, shaking hands. Allin gets up. Punk hasn't left the ring yet. He's waiting for Allin to get up. Punk extends his hand. Allin shakes it. Nice little cool moment right there. And then Punk just takes a quick little victory lap. And that pretty much was it. So Punk looking pretty good there. Very curious what's next here. What is next here? Is it a case where, you asked me personally, we were just talking about it earlier. Do we maybe get Scorpio Sky, Ethan Page, see what they're kind of doing there with Dan Lambert and crew? Do we maybe kind of intertwine that with Allin, Sting, Punk? Do we maybe do a little something like that? I hope that's actually the direction that we're going, because that actually would be badass. Or do you maybe go CM Punk, Malachi Black? AEW's in a really fucking good position right here, man. There's we can go either way, man. There's so many cool directions we can go with this one. Now comes the moment that was pretty much for a lot of people the piss break, the shit break. For me, it was simple. It's time to prepare my show. Seriously, QT Marshall taking on Paul Wight. I'm so sorry for the guys that's going to be listening to this. What demanded on the downloads. They're going to be like, the fuck happened to the audio? I could have held that note a lot higher, too. I could have held that a lot higher, but nah, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, no bullshit, guys. No bullshit. And I actually said that line to my wife. 'Cause I had her busting out in tears laughing, and she's like, wait a minute. She's like, you're going to leave me here watching this shit? I'm like, because she's been following some of the storylines that's been happening here, and she hasn't been impressed with this Paul Wight, QT Marshall shit. She's like, wait a minute, you're actually going to leave me alone in here and watch this shit? I'm like, well, there's one more match to go. She's like, what's after this? I'm like, it's the main event match. She's like, oh, who's fighting? I tell her. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, so this is the bathroom break, huh? I'm like, yeah, it's the bathroom break. It's like, but I'm going to go. I'm going to set the show up. I'm going to get the stream ready and everything. So I literally walked out on this match. Apparently, Paul Wight won. Good for him. 3 minutes, 12 seconds. Good for him. I just thought it was so funny. I was mentioning it to some of the people in the Discord. I said, can you believe that Paul Wight, QT Marshall, get the spot before the main event? They get on after Punk and Allin? What the fuck? And some of the people that were going, yeah, Lee, it's the big come down. We've gotten the high, now we got the big come down. We get the withdrawal now. Like, that's bullshit. Like, come on. Like, no, that's bullshit, man. Main event match. Oh, God. Main event match. Oh, by the way, some other stuff had got set up for Dynamite as well. So, again, Moxley, Suzuki, they're going to be going at it on Dynamite, which is going to be in Cincinnati, Moxley's home turf. Also, Malachi Black, he's going to be facing Dustin Rhodes. And Rampage, something is supposed to be happening on Rampage. I can't remember the match right now, but something is supposed to be going down on Rampage. Don't worry. I mean, Friday, still a long ways from here. But AEW World Title matchup, Christian Cage taking on Kenny Omega. They did everything in regards to this matchup to really make it be a match of great significance. And I love the fact that it took a good minute to get Gallows, Anderson, Callis. I like the fact that it wasn't an instant, okay, we're going to put the screws to Christian Cage. I like that it wasn't instant right here. You know, but at the same time, you know, if you're like me, you're going, no, there's just no Cage as the new AEW World Champion. No. And it's kind of, let's take it a step further. You really even believed or really felt that Christian truly had a chance here? And I mean, sure, as a challenger, but like legit, he's going to be the one to, no, especially with full gear around the corner. No, you know, but I thought that, you know, they built this matchup for what it was worth. Because when you really take a step back and you really think about it, not really that much substance as far as a storyline for this rivalry or feud, whatever you want to call it. Not really much there. You know, just kind of out of thin air and just, you know, he's the number one contender. Like, oh, okay, right? But yeah, I mean, that's really it. Closing moments of this one. Tiger Driver gets countered. Christian manages to get in a high angle cloverleaf from there. He tries to look for the kill switch. Connects. He only gets a near fall. Nothing else is working. Christian tries to go up to the top rope. Tries to connect with a super kill switch. But it gets reversed into a super one-winged angel from the top turnbuckle. And that is how Kenny Omega was able to retain his championship. These guys went at it for about 21 minutes, 20 seconds. Post-match, we already had told you guys about the whole beatdown, everything that had came about, and then it's setting up Adam Cole first. Adam Cole first coming out. You're thinking, oh, you know, which side is he on? It's like, well, it should be obvious. That joint says all elite, baby. You know, so You just kind of felt, yeah, it's kind of obvious where we're going here. And sure enough, super kicks the hell out of Jungle Boy and lays a hurting on the rest of the guys there from Jurassic Express. Good shit right there. Um, nice pair of surprises that they did here tonight. Decent matches. I think really when you get right down to the heart of the matter and you just look at the matches that was on the card, I mean, grand total, 10 matches, including the pre-show. I mean, for me personally, out of the 10 matches, what I felt was the absolute best for this pay-per-view, CM Punk, Darby Allin, Lucha Brothers, Young Bucks, Miro, Kingston, and I'll give an honorable mention to Moxley, Kojima, Baker, Statlander. Actually, you know what? Let me back up a second. Jericho MJF, I'll give an honorable mention to that as well. So, like, out of 10 matches, so you're looking at about 5 to 6 matches that, okay, you know what? Yeah, these were actually pretty good matches. And everything else was just kind of, it was what it was. But the moments, it's all about the moments that pretty much were sold here. These, for one, the historic title change that came about there with the Lucha Brothers over the Bucks, right? That's pretty wow. But then on top of that, to see some of these debuts that we got from Ruby Soho, from Adam Cole, from Bryan Danielson. I mean, this, minus those, it felt like a typical pay-per-view. But when you add those, it really just boosts the overall rating of the show, because you could have easily made an argument minus those, all right, just kind of felt like a super dynamite show, nothing more, nothing less. But, for a nearly 4-hour show, it's really hard to complain. You really got to be nitpicking when you're looking at this pay-per-view. You really, really got to be nitpicking and just, you rosebud, right? Right, you fucking rosebud. You got to be a dick. You got to be a real dick to just be kind of just micromanaging and just, this was pretty good. I would honestly give this pay-per-view, all things considered, it was one of their best pay-per-views. It was definitely one of their best pay-per-views. I would give this a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. And I'm trying to think if I've given a pay-per-view this calendar year so far. I'm trying to think if I've given a pay-per-view that high of a rating before. I don't think I have yet. I think usually I'm at around a 7 or 8 for a lot of the pay-per-views. So for me to go with a 9 out of 10, yeah. And I don't give out 9s like it's fucking Halloween candy, Hey, what's up? You got some candy? Yeah, here you go. Nah. You gotta really milk me for that 9. Yeah. So I definitely would say it's a 9 out of 10. Let's see what you guys had to say about the pay-per-view. I'm gonna read some more comments. So if you guys want to sound off now is definitely the time for y'all to sound off about the pay-per-view while I'm reading the comments. I'll buy you guys a little bit more time though, and I'll actually see what's going on with the community polls. Let's go to Twitter at the RCWR show. You can also vote on YouTube, youtube.com/the RCWR show. Click on the communities tab and you can vote that way as well. Let's see what you guys had to say here. Shout out to those of you that's checking out the stream live right now, whether you're checking it out. Let's see, where are we tonight? Looks like we're on YouTube. We got the Twitter. Looks like we got Facebook as well. All right, let's see here. Right now, I'm seeing 90% of the votes coming in are giving the pay-per-view a thumbs up. 90% of the votes coming in right now are giving the pay-per-view a thumbs up. Meanwhile, let's see what you guys are saying on the communities tab over on YouTube. See what you guys are saying over here. You guys aren't reading. You guys aren't reading on YouTube. You guys are not reading on YouTube. That is hilarious. I'm seeing 93% of you are giving the pay-per-view. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, I read that wrong. I thought I got you guys. You guys got me. Oh shit. Cause sometimes what I'll do with the YouTube poll or just any poll, sometimes I'll do the reverse. I'll do the thumbs. You know how it's supposed to be thumbs up and then thumbs down? Sometimes I'll do thumbs down and then thumbs up to make you guys really, right? My way of making sure you guys are really reading. But no, you guys are good. You guys are good tonight. I thought I got you guys. Nah, you guys got me actually, because I like just putting this together. 7% of you on YouTube gave the pay-per-view a thumbs down. Meanwhile, 93% of you are giving the pay-per-view a thumbs up. So yeah, I think we're gonna stay in the 90s for sure. I think so. Look, we got this poll. It's gonna remain open until Tuesday, so you guys can definitely continue to vote. I know some of you guys didn't see the pay-per-view tonight. You heard some of the things that went down. Hopefully this is, it entices you. It makes you go out of your way to check out the pay-per-view and everything. And I would say definitely go out of your way and check it out. I will definitely say that. You didn't check it out, make it your business. Go out of your way, check it out. It's a lot of great moments that we got on this pay-per-view tonight. Some pretty solid in-ring action as well. Let's read some more comments here in the chat while we're still live on here. See what we got here. Let's see here. Terrell, can't wait until we get Kenny Omega versus Kota Ibushi in AEW. Oh, dude, I would love to see that matchup. Dude, Ibushi is my man. I fucking love Ibushi, man. Yeah, I definitely Omega Ibushi for sure. Sign me up. Give me Tanahashi as well. I mean, I know right now we're kind of teasing Moxley and Tanahashi, but I also would love to see Omega and Tanahashi personally. So yeah, that's fucking badass. See what else we got here. Steven, AEW just got better with that talent on that roster, bringing in Adam Cole, Bryan Danielson, making the debut at AEW All Out. The future is bright. Yeah, definitely. Izzy, do I think CJ will join Miro soon? It's kind of like that interview that CM Punk gave recently where the subject of AJ Lee was brought up again. And, he said, well, right now she's busy, writing, she's doing some screenplays, she's engulfed with all of that right now. And, I really wish that the persons that were interviewing him would have kind of went in and said, because, he pretty much let it be known, her neck, her small frame, she's pretty much done. But then he almost, the way it ended, he kind of left a little bit of a window open there. Like, okay, maybe after she gets this stuff out of the way, maybe she might entertain the idea of coming back. I really wish the people that was interviewing Punk would have immediately followed up and said, okay, so, would you
Come on, fuckos, let's go for a ride.
Hey, Thomas Scott with the super chat there. Appreciate that. I'll read your super chat in a hot second, Thomas. Let me finish with Izzy's question. I could definitely see CJ in AEW. I think it's just kind of one of those things. The reason why I was bringing up AJ Lee earlier, I think it's just one of those things where what projects, if any, is CJ wrapped up in right now, because if she's preoccupied with some stuff right now, then it's kind of one of those. And then second of all, does she want to continue being involved in the wrestling business? And then if so, does she want to continue as a in-ring wrestling performer, or does she want to go back to basics and do what she was doing with Miro from their old stomping ground days and NXT and pretty much manage him that way and all that. What is she interested in doing this second chapter of a pro wrestling career, right? It's kind of one of those type of deals, but she would definitely be welcomed in any promotion. Anybody would be happy to have her on board, but obviously, you want to try to do your best to, kind of keep the family together and everything. But hopefully she, maybe one day we will see her over there. We will see her. We know she's watching the product. I mean, she's always commenting. She's always commenting about the product. Let's see what else we got here. Give me a second. I'm just Thomas, I ain't forget you. I'm just double checking here. Oh, something about Christian here. I feel like he'll be a mid-carder for the rest of his babyface career. The heel turn might give him a second win in the future. Yeah, Captain Jobber, I agree with that, and I love the fact that you got Christian as your avatar. That is badass. I love that. I agree with that. Yeah, I can't help but wonder, because honestly, Christian is really good as a heel. He's always been better as a heel. Always. So, and look, not for nothing, but you just feel that at some point it's in the cards. At some point he is going to turn on Jurassic Express. I mean, I can see something right there in the making between Christian and Jungle Boy. I think that would be a damn good feud in itself right there. Seriously. Let's see what else we got here. Smitty said good storytelling. I'm not sure what. Hang on. Okay. He's saying in regards to the Punk Darby Allin match, because his previous comment, even the Punk match felt like a classic match. Good storytelling. Yeah, I got you. All right, what else we got here? I gotta read that because that's badass. I love that. I gotta read that and I gotta react to that. Cooper saying, I guess in Mr. Oh God, that's a good one. In Mr. Levesque's case, the game is over. It's all about AEW and how you work it. It's all about the talents and if you can sign them. It's about getting paid and the fans who'll make it. It's all about the ratings and who's gonna make it. Oh shit. You gotta be thinking of William Shatner now, man. It's time to play the game. That's my favorite, man. Let's see what we got here. What else? Montaza. I can love wrestling again. Heart 83, baby. AEW, the best damn show on the earth. Too fucking sweet. Good night. Bang bang. Good shit right there. Let's see here. What else? Okay, so we're pretty much, yeah, because I had to show you guys a lot of love earlier, so I apologize for the comments earlier. Thomas, I didn't forget your super chat. Let's see what you got here, buddy. I'm gonna spend a decent amount of time on your super chat, my man. By the way, one more time, you guys haven't done it yet. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Feel free to subscribe, but definitely hit that like button. You hit that like button, that helps us out, especially as far as helping other people discover our content with ease. All right, Thomas, what you got for me, buddy? WWE not building a star after Cena is biting WWE in the butt right now. Yes, they have Becky and Roman, but they are heels. Give me a second. I'm trying to do this in a way where we can link it to AEW, and I think I know the path that I want to take with this. And again, I kind of get what you're saying, Thomas, because some people might look at that super chat and they might look at that comment and they might kind of feel like that's so fucking random. But Thomas is actually kind of bringing up a good point, which ultimately is kind of AEW's gain when you really stop and think about it. So I think to kind of complement Thomas's point, you look at the fact that, and I'm just getting a pen and paper and I'm just writing down some names here that comes to me off the break here. But you look at the fact that Malachi no longer with WWE, Ruby Riott no longer with WWE, Jericho, and essentially him paying it forward, setting up the next generation of wrestlers and all that, no longer with the WWE. You don't have John Moxley with the WWE. You don't have Rusev / Miro. You don't have Punk. You don't have Bryan. You don't have, who else am I missing in there? You don't have Cody, okay? You don't have Cody that's in there. Who else? Serena Deeb. Serena Deeb was definitely one of your best women that was in there that could really help, get the women up to par and everything. You just look at a lot of those names that I had brought up just now. And when you're looking at the whole paying it forward, right? As I always like to say on this show, forward, always forward, pay it forward. When you look at what's currently been going on with WWE, oh, you know what? We didn't mention Braun Strowman. When you look at that, Braun, and then Adam Cole, gotta make sure you put him in there as well. All right, so look at that. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So you got about 11 names right there that I just named that's no longer under the WWE umbrella. And yeah, when you've got those names that you are just, we don't want anything to do with these guys. Yeah, we're good. We're done. And you haven't properly spent the time and energy essentially building up. Think of the pantry analogy, not to be too long-winded, but think about the pantry analogy for a second. And this is how I will always refer to the point that Thomas is bringing up right now. I look at it as the pantry analogy. You open your pantry, you've got all the wonderful snacks in the world that you can think of, whatever your favorite snacks are. Peanut butter crackers, chips, pretzel rods, whatever. It's all in there. And you are just, anytime you want something, you're just going in that pantry and you are just, but a point's going to come where you're going to have to replenish that pantry, right? I mean, you see you're starting to run a little low. It's about time for you to go to the store and it's about time for you to refill that pantry, yeah? If you don't refill that pantry, you're going to find yourself in a position where you're going to be saying, okay, I didn't replenish it. Now I'm all out. What the fuck do I do? And that's essentially, to Thomas's point there with that comment, that's essentially where WWE has now kind of found themselves as a result of all of these names that we just talked about, where essentially, WWE decided, yeah, we're good. We don't really want to pursue anything further with you. We're pretty much good to go. So it's that's how you kind of have to look at it. So yeah, to Thomas's point, yeah, they are kind of paying for it a little bit per se. And look, I mean, we can't really dwell on it because their loss is ultimately other wrestling promotions' gain, and in this case, definitely AEW's gain, and the way that they are continuing to capitalize on it. I look at it no different than the record industry. It's like you could be Miles Davis. You've made great fucking hit albums under Warner Brothers under their label for so many years, and then they decide, yeah, given what's going on with the current climate, current culture and everything, we don't really think this whole jazz stuff, we don't really think that's going to sell. And then you got Miles Davis saying, I'm going to show those motherfuckers, okay, well, I'm going to go sign with Blue Note because that's where everybody is going. And they're able to put out the type of music they want to put out. Da, 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 da. I kind of look at that's what's up with AEW right now. I kind of look at them as Blue Note, basically, and everybody that they've been able to acquire that essentially has been told, yeah, your time in the sun is over. Nah, we don't really want to have anything to do with you. Yeah, like they're finding a new second lease on life and everything. So yeah, I can definitely see that. So that's kind of good how we address that. Yeah, you notice how, right? That's how we link it back to AEW because we want to try to keep it AEW tonight. Anything else that's kind of WWE related, we'll just forward that to the next show. That's no problem. Speaking of which, quick programming note with the holiday as it's now Labor Day, which is now Labor Day. I want to give you guys a friendly reminder here. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, Thomas got another one here, another super chat.
Come on, fuckos, let's go for a ride.
Thomas wants to go for another ride. What you got here? Thomas is saying exactly what I meant. Who is the top babyface in WWE? Exactly, Thomas. Exactly. When you keep the pantry analogy from earlier, when you just keep, right? I mean, you look at, is it Becky? It kind of seems like maybe she's going the heel route, right? Is it... who is it? Edge? Is Edge maybe the top baby face right now? Like we is it Brock? Is Brock maybe the top baby face right now? Like we don't really know, right? When you keep doing with the pantry, when you keep fucking with the pantry, and you just keep and you haven't, right? That's the fucking dilemma you got. So we got the Labor Day holiday that's coming up. And I don't know yet. I don't know if I'm going to be doing a show for you guys Monday night. I don't know. I kind of feel like just taking it easy, enjoying the day off. If anything, just come back Tuesday, cover NWA Power, Wednesday, cover Dynamite, NXT Fallout. I don't know yet. If I'm going to do something, though, I will put something out on social media for you guys, letting you know. But the way I'm kind of feeling right now, I'm like 70% certain I'm just going to enjoy Monday completely, like the whole day. I'm just going to enjoy it, spend time with the family, and just relax, get ready for Tuesday and Wednesday shows for you guys. Because, we had put out, not for nothing, we did put out a extra bonus show this week. I know we had reacted to the news of the sad passing there of Daphne. And, kind of sad that AEW, as far as I know, they didn't put up a little graphic or anything in regards to Daphne. That was just kind of... Notice WWE didn't do anything either. That was kind of... yeah. Reddick, the dream matches in AEW right now, they are insane. Yeah, without a shadow of doubt. Just the great combinations that you can do. We'd be here all night just going over the combinations, but there's so many damn good combinations you can do with these guys that we got in there now. So many damn good combinations. If you are a wrestling fan that stopped watching the WWE product in the last 5 to 7 years, right about that time when Punk was done, no bullshit. It's a great time to be back as a wrestling fan right now because... it's like what AEW did tonight. It's a fucking shot of good fucking adrenaline, and you just can't help but, okay, I need to see what these guys are about, especially if you've never invested the time or energy in AEW. Now you're kind of going, okay, they got this guy, they got that guy. Wait, they got who? They just got what? Now, out of curiosity, and let me tell you something. I'm going to make a bold prediction here. And then we're going to wrap it up. I have a strong feeling that with podcasts such as mine, definitely with the wrestling sites that's providing their reviews out there and everything. And Meltzer, he's kind of pro AEW anyway. There's going to be so much buzz from this pay-per-view that going into Dynamite this week, there's going to be a lot of curiosity. A lot of people are going to be heavily invested in seeing what went down post All Out. They want to get that post AEW All Out Fallout. I have a feeling that that's going to be a pretty high number, to the point I'm looking at the AEW ratings. Let me look here. Looks like Dynamite did a 1.047 million viewers on TNT for this past Wednesday. I would expect that to be up even more. I'm not saying they're going to get 2 million. I'm not saying that at all. I believe they're going to be in the million range, but I wouldn't be surprised if they maybe did somewhere between 1.2 to 1.5 million. I would not be surprised if they were somewhere in that range, just with all the great buzz that's going on right now. And, what a huge blow for them to be losing Adam Cole as well. I mean, look, it'd be one thing if, 30 days went by, 60, 90 days went by. But, Adam Cole, Jesus fucking Christ. Adam Cole, we last saw him on TV. What was that? Well, the last thing we saw him do was the takeover joint, but there was a couple of little promo spots that he did there for WWE. I know he did a thing at TakeOver. What was that TakeOver 36? I'm actually looking at it right now. Yeah, the last time we saw him was on August 22nd. So less than 3 weeks later, and we see him on AEW programming. I'm not saying he's going to significantly move the needle of the ratings for Dynamite, but just collectively, everything that we had just talked about, to not have 1 million plus for your Dynamite show this week, I just can't help but go, what's up? You obviously doing something wrong. What the hell's going on there? It's kind of one of those type of deals. Let's see. What else we got here? Let's see. Oh, yeah, Riddick. Yeah. Riddick is saying that as far as the dream matches in AEW, insane. But he's also saying in addition, that's not even with them working with all the other companies. Yeah, just what they got alone. If Tony Khan were to ever decide, we're good, that Forbidden Door, we're good. We got all our pieces. We're just going to focus on us for the foreseeable future. He's got more than enough. Yeah, without a doubt. But then add into the fact with them working with other companies and just the potential dream matchups that you could do with that. Yeah, dude. Fucking badass. Without a doubt. Fucking badass. All right, so we've done about 2 hours, 22 minutes for your post show. Let's stick a fork in it. We'll call this one DONE done. I appreciate you guys that have stayed up, and especially you guys that had watched the damn pay-per-view, and then you're dedicating your time checking me out. I appreciate that. As always, man, show the ultimate love and support. Feel free to subscribe, hit that like. When you hit that like, really, big time, helps out tremendously. Has more people, more eyeballs be put on our product and all of that. Do that. Appreciate that in advance. Appreciate the super chats that came in as well. For those of you that maybe want to leave your own form of a super chat / donation after the show is over, just click on that little heart thanks button and you can contribute that way. Or be a Patreon member. Sign up. Patreon.com / RCWR show. We're always doing bonus audio video exclusive content for you guys on a weekly basis. So feel free to do that. And feel free to say hello to me on Twitter. I'm at Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Use the keywords, the RCWR show. Those of you who's going to be waiting for the audio version of this, give me about 40 minutes and I'll just do what I got to do, clean it up, boom, get it out there to you guys with the quickness. All right. Monday show still on the fence. Just stay connected to the YouTube community section and Twitter and Facebook, and definitely I would say no later than 9 p.m. So pretty much after the first hour of Raw, I'll pretty much will let you guys know whether or not I'm going to be doing a show that Monday, or if we're just going to take the night off and come on back Tuesday. All right. Appreciate you guys that had stayed up. Oh, by the way, from my family to yours, happy Labor Day. I'm not sure how many of you guys are going to be celebrating it, but to those of you that maybe, you have to work, hey, definitely respect and appreciate, what you do. If nobody told you that, I definitely appreciate you. So, but hopefully you're able to enjoy the holiday. All right. Be safe. Most importantly, be kind to one another. And I will see you guys next go round. Take care, y'all. Peace.